Welcome back, everybody. Berita, Laka, Mafikizolo, Encore, Mango Groove, Ringo and Master KG are just some of the artists that will headline this year's tribute to SA Music Heroes concert taking place next Saturday in Moretele Park in Mamelodi in Pretoria. The concert pays tribute to South Africa's famous icons of the musical arts. To unpack what's in store for the 2022 edition, we're now joined in studio by Sam Mhangwani, who is the Director of Drakensberg Promotions, and with him is one of the artists that will perform at the concert, BHUDA. Very good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning, Sims.
Good to have you on the show this morning.
Nice to see you again after a long time.
Right. No, let's talk about the background, is the tribute to SA Music Heroes concert. What's the concept behind it, and what really inspired it?
Tribute concert was conceptualized sometimes in 1998. The idea was to honor all the musicians who have contributed to the music industry. So I started with artists such as Boyuma Sikela, Letambuli, all the big artists, and Miriam Makeba and all that. We started in Soweto at Orlando Stadium. I remember we had 5,000 people.
Yo.
Then in 1999, we moved the show to Mamelodi, Moretele Park, and from there, the sky is the limit. You know, it kept on growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, and speaking of which, how has it grown over the years? I mean, you said that you started with 5,000 people. That's huge for starters.
Yeah, no, it kept on growing. I think the mixture of the artists, and don't forget artists such as Jonas Gwangwa, you know, they had such an impact when they were playing. Everybody wanted to be there. But what is good, it continues to be that.
Okay.
Even today, people, when you say Moretele Park, they look at the lineup. Sometimes they always advise us, that one we don't want and all that. But, you know, we need to make them understand that the concert is meant for all genres of music. It's not the jazz artist only. It can be a little bit of Kwaito, you know, Ringo is something else, Ami Faku is something else, Budaza is something else, the late Tsepo Tsulami, they're so rest in peace. We come from far, you know. It's very sad when I think of all the artists, Bo Brenda Fassi, Bo Jabu Kanyile. And today we are here, and it's quite interesting, especially after the COVID. And God, we must say thank God. And that's why on the 15th we are going to celebrate. They're coming back, and this is the end of the COVID. I don't think it will come back.
What I like about this concert is that it, it sort of invokes, that feeling of nostalgia, taking us down memory lane. I mean, this has been in existence for quite a long, long time. And you mentioned some of the heroes that have graced the stages of this concert. And you also mentioned, different genres. And speaking of which, we have one of the artists that will headline this concert. We've got in the studio, BHUDA. Very good morning to you, man.
Morning, Sims.
Welcome, man.
Thank you.
Talk to us about how it all started for you musically. When did the love affair with music start?
For me, it started back in high school, in class, with classmates Mduduzi and Simpiwe.
Okay.
So, and also listening to a lot of Kwaito music and house music, listening to Oskido, Zola, Mdu, and Mafikizolo. And so even the type of music that I'm making, the type of music that I listen to, it does have an influence in the music that I'm making right now.
And speaking of which, what's the kind of music that you make?
I'm making amapiano, it's Kwaito, it's jazz, and house.
Okay. Okay, so what inspired it? I mean, what inspired the choice of genre? Because you say that it started back in high school in class. And what were you listening to at the time?
It was Kwaito, and it was house music.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot, and then with Mduduzi and Simpiwe, so we started writing songs and then going to the studio.
Right. So what should we expect from your performance at this concert?
Great performance, great setup. I do have a guy who's playing the keyboard, excuse me, Nilan, and a lady who's playing a saxophone, Sintu, and I also have dancers as well. So it's going to be elite performance at the Moretele tribute concert.
Okay.
Yes.
That is Sam. So why is it important for you, I mean, for the festival organizers to give, the opportunity to such artists like BHUDA?
Well, the idea of that concept is that first of all, we make sure that all the artists that are featured in that show are 100% South African music. Not that I don't like overseas music, but I felt we must have a show whereby South African music can share on the stage.
Indeed.
I mean, when young artists like BHUDA share stage with Ringo and Budaza and Mafikizolo and the Botu Nokwe, you know, it encourages them only to mix with them backstage. It makes them say, yeah, we are going the right way, and this is where we want to end up. Because you can be a musician if you don't get a platform to perform.
Right.
Your career may end as soon as you can, but it encourages me to see new artists coming up. And sometimes I look back and I say, yo, so many artists have gone through my eyes. And when the concert is going on, I say, yeah, somebody is doing a good job, and nobody say that.
How long has it been?
It's almost 24 years. This year will be the 24th years.
Jeez, 24 years on and still growing strong. So what is it that you've, you've done differently this year? Because I know that so many festival organizers, they try to push the envelope, try to make things better each and every year. So what is it have you done to make it more different and more interesting this year?
What you need to do better every year when you do the show is how you choose your lineup. You know, you can see the lineup, Omakazi, Master KG. You can't go wrong with that. You have the smaller artists so that they are also established. They start to grow their career there.
Yeah.
And when you bring the show together, as you line them up, we build up the show so that as it goes, about 12 o'clock, midnight, you find yourself, the head saying, yeah, no, this is happening.
Right.
And it can be better than that. And that's why people keep on coming. They come this year, they come next year, because there's a mix of all the artists.
And what's the thought process in terms of selecting the artist? I mean, do you go for hot property at the moment, or a popular artist at the moment, or you just go for quality, someone who's known, someone who's been in the game for a very, very long time?
You just have to give them equal time, because the big ones that will be able to sell the show, the smaller ones must also climb on the big ones so that they can reach the top. So we mix the genres so that the small ones will say, I've played with the big ones. And eventually when they play, they say, I want to up my standard to that one of so-and-so. And that's how they get motivated, just to mix with the top artists.
Indeed.
You know, there's an artist who comes from Mpumalanga, Mr. Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
It's an absolute must-see. This concert
will be there. Yeah, what can you do?
It's an absolute must-see.
Yeah, no.
Now, BHUDA, let's talk about your project, Imigodoi. What inspired it, and why the title Imigodoi?
Imigodoi, it speaks about some people, anyone that has been hustling, and then people that have made it. Like,
really?
Yes, like Imigodoi, Imigodoi Yizinja. So the song speaks about, it's a motivational song, kahle kahle. Like Imigodoi, abantu sebephumelele, Yizinja ze game, kahle kahle. Yeah, that's what the song speaks about.
Also, it's basically paying tribute to hustlers.
Yes, hustlers, encouraging them. Yes, that they'll make it. Yeah. Just keep on pushing, yes.
And you're one of them. You're one of the hustlers,
I can say something that you mentioned, getting a platform at the Moretele, such a big concert.
Sure.
I would like to say thanks to Sam and my manager, Umandla Baloi, getting such a platform, performing with legends, people that you've been looking up to, and people like Mamelodi and Master KG, hitmakers, it inspires me to go on and on.
It really is inspirational, man. It's so huge. And what kind of challenges do you guys, encounter on a daily basis in terms of getting onto platforms, getting to perform at festivals? Because I know that so many musicians and artists, they find it very difficult. So what are some of the challenges that you guys that you encountered?
I can say there are two challenges. Shooting a music video and then getting your music video onto television, you just submit and you have to wait. Another is music, submitting your music to radio stations. It's a challenge. You submit your music, you don't hear your music on radio, but you just have to go back to the studio, keep on producing, keep on submitting. One day your music will be there. One day you'll be on platforms just like Morning Live.
Yeah,
just keep on pushing.
That is, we are out of time, unfortunately, but just briefly, how do we get hold of the tickets?
Tickets are sold at CompuTicket and ShopRite. Check us. and people are getting confused. The call we get is that they say they get to compute tickets. They don't know whether to say they want tickets for Moretele Park show. That's what they are.
Oh, right.
Don't buy the tickets from the street. You know, there are these people who sell fraudulent tickets in the street, and they buy these tickets for their women. They take them there. When we get there, we scan the tickets. This is and it's not right. Buy the proper ticket at Compute Ticket and the ShopRite checkers, please.
And
300.
It's not nice, man. It's not nice.
I am a sometimes batata machas. Uba bumtana muntu. Marumte ticket from Cocotel must figure la pasiti mutaxi.
Gentlemen, lovely chatting to you. And this concert is an absolute must-see. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Sam Mhangwani is the Director of the Drakensberg Promotions, speaking to us about the tribute to SA Music Heroes concert taking place at Moretele Park in Mamelodi in Pretoria on Saturday, the 15th of October. And with him is artist BHUDA, who's one of the artists that will be performing at the festival.